Um, I had the well, throughout my day today, I've been listening to what a couple of FEs have thrown at me, which was Jeranism's latest video as of I guess last night while I was in bed, and talk about some damage control. Um, oh, where do I start on this one? This one's too funny. How about I'll just put it here. Go like that. Go like that. There. Um, Jeranism is apparently upset with me and Sean, um, and decided to call us liars. Um, that's fine, I guess. Where do I go with this? Well, basically, I listened to the whole video, and as a person properly does, and made all these notes. They go on for a while. And since I know that flat earthers usually only watch about the first minute or so of video, the because you know that well, I just won't even go there. Um, First, I'm going to say that I guess I'll knock some of the key points out here in the beginning because I have itemized all the rest of them. The key points here. Let's see. First, Jeranism claims me as a liar because I use math. Okay. He doesn't like the fact that my Distance to the Sun video from a while back, he doesn't like the fact that apparently it's complicated. Okay. It would be complicated for somebody in about 6th grade. Once you start learning geometry, it's fucking basic. Anyway, uh, but then later he says that math is right because of the fact that it was constructed for indoctrination. So wouldn't you actually not have anything to say there except for to say that my math is right? But anyway, second point. Uh, Jeranism says that I lie. Now, a person who lies displays a deliberate untruth, I believe is the actual textbook definition. Um, well, that's funny. Nowhere in the video does he show that I did that. Nowhere. He spent a whole hour where he has me as the headline, Sean as second, uh, saying that I lie. But he didn't show me lying about anything. So I don't even get what the point is, other than to try and get under my skin. Sorry, I let you do that one time, Jared. But since it's pretty much par for the course that all flat earthers do is say that the globe is a lie, and say that all experimentation is a lie, and say that all measurements are a lie, and say that everybody else lies. Well, gee, aren't you included in everybody? But anyway, won't even go there. And then let's see. And third point is that Jeranism doesn't answer any of the stuff that I've actually done against his work. Nothing about the shadows, nothing about, well, he does address one video that I made counter to him, and I'll save that one for last, because it also showed up last in the video. But y'all are really gonna love that one. That one was great, and I think he honestly had his, I'm assuming wife. I don't know anything about his wife, so I have no comments for her. Other than to say that he made his wife answer it, probably because he didn't want to be held to the answer. That's most likely possible. Anyway, Jaron knows all this stuff is a lie. Okay, he knows every bit of it is a lie. Flat Earth is. He knows it is. Okay, he does. He knows it is. I cannot imagine someone who at least seems to have his skills could be this stupid. Okay, I really, really don't. Okay, now I need to point out something here, but obviously bring it into context. There were two statements that were made in my last hangout with Sean, and those two statements, or 2 points that were brought up, 2 subjects that were brought up. The first one was about an apparent ring laser, something with glow busters and stuff like that. I personally have not researched it. I do not know of its existence. Okay, which is also why when Sean brought it to my attention, and I don't even know how he knows it. That's not me saying anything bad about Sean. That's just I don't know where he got it from. But I haven't had the time to research that since I heard about it. Something about a ring laser test, and I specifically said I don't know anything about it. Okay, sounds entirely plausible that, seeing that crowdsourcing and all that stuff is the thing right now, that somebody would crowdsource to get an expensive piece of equipment. I mean, not everybody has that kind of money laying around. But it sounds plausible that they would go out and get that just to use it wrong to make a video and then sell it back and keep the money. That sounds entirely plausible, which is why I made the comment that I did. I was like, yeah, that sounds about right. But no, I didn't confirm it because obviously I didn't know anything about it, as I stated in the video. So if you want to take that up with Sean and stuff like that, that's fine. And the second one was about the CIA shoot down. What do you call it? That was a joke, dude. The your balloon launch, as I recall, how was that balloon launch? You were, I think you were at home or something like that, or somewhere. You were on a PC with a better broadband connection, and Bob and the crew were out there launching this balloon. And now, for whatever reason, I don't remember if it was 5,000 or 50,000. I don't remember, but it went up. It hung at a certain altitude, and then just seemed to stay at that altitude. Well, that only means one of two things: either A, and no, it doesn't mean that all the tracking was lost from GPS and all this other bullshit and stuff like that. Because if the tracking was lost, then obviously the pinging and the return information would have been lost as well. In other words, it would have just went completely blank. So that's just like bullshit. The joke here is that it went up and it hung at a certain altitude, and it seemed to have stayed there. Now, again, that means one of two things: either A, everything was working correctly, however, the altimeter, whatever measure was being used, or excuse me, whatever device was being used, froze. Okay, froze, and I don't mean just by temperature. I just mean froze as in it stopped working. It ceased its operation, was returning the same result, and it may have actually still been climbing, but reporting the wrong result, or an inaccurate result. Or there are mixtures that have to be done. There's math actually that has to be done for the volume of gas that can be inside of the balloon, per the expansion size of the balloon, per the weight of the actual payload. And if you get that wrong, any number of things can happen. Either A, you put too much gas in it, it shoots up like a rocket, but then it bursts too early, which was not the case in this one because it actually seemed to have hung there for a while. Or the other extreme in that situation is you don't put enough gas in there, and at a certain point it reaches an equilibrium with the air pressure and will just basically hang there at a certain height. Now, if you don't believe me that that can happen, look up in World War II. The Japanese actually somewhat perfected. I only say somewhat perfected as in they got pretty far with it, but unfortunately it never, well, fortunately for us, but unfortunately for them, it never really found its target, and that was they put bombs on balloons and launched them from from their region, and so that they would carry along with air currents to the west coast of the United States and eventually drop their payloads. that's how you get an equilibrium of this, of altitude versus the lifting method. I think theirs was actually heat, though. I'm not 100% positive, but nevertheless. So I am going to go down. This is why I wrote in the description that this one's going to be long. Guess what? It's going to be long. Now I am not going to. I might decide to throw in once or twice the actual audio clips, or excuse me, the actual audio from his actual hangout. I might decide to do that. I'm not 100% sure I'm going to do that right now because that will make it even longer. But there might be one or two places, given the shit that I had to listen to on this, that I might actually do that. So what I did was I basically went through the entire thing and wrote down itemized comments that he made, and obviously I will respond to them. He made 52, okay, which is funny enough. His video kind of ends at the 52-minute mark. Then he just kind of rattles off there at the end. So he's got 52 things, almost one per minute, and a couple more a little bit rapid fire. So let's go ahead and do this. Okay. Let's see. At 1 minute, number one, at 1 minute 12, he says that Sean is the most pathetic, or he calls Sean the most pathetic liar. Yet, if you look here, oops, wait a minute. Dum, 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 dum. But if you look here, I headline his video. He calls him the most pathetic liar, but I headline his video both in title and in thumbnail. Go figure. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, when it comes down to names, because he was trying to discuss why he doesn't say names and stuff like that. Well, he comes up with all kinds of childish schoolyard shit about his name. Jaron, you need to really grow up. I realize that Red calls you Jism. I realize that most people call you Jism. Okay, yeah, I realize that. Okay, I'm not one of them. Okay, that's just not my thing, because I personally believe that once you start getting it into that realm and stuff like that, then you kind of lose the message and the authenticity of the words that you're saying. But I don't kill people for doing it, but I just would like to point that out. So the whole thing about using my name, and I don't care about names and stuff like that. I don't care about faces on videos. I care about you backing up your claims, which you do not do. Ever. Ever. Show me one claim that you have backed up with 100% proof. Okay? Not things that we don't see, like your scuba divers and stuff like that, with stuff that you can actually show somebody as proof. Okay? That's what I care about. 1 minute 45, number three. Let's see. Oh, well, then he turns around and calls me Sly. So, go figure. Let's see. Now, at number 4, at 3:15, he says that he was going to provide some substance. Well, he didn't. The whole damn video. Not once. Okay, number 5, at 3 minutes 55 seconds, he says, well, he starts going on about this. It's impossible to prove, or it's impossible to prove that a lie occurred, or something like that, when it never actually did occur. I agree. You can't. I wouldn't. If you told me, you can't prove when somebody says that you said something and you never said it. You can't prove that you never said it. I totally agree with that. However, what I do is I challenge you on the stuff that you do produce. Okay, I've never challenged you on something outside of that. Now, if you want to comment on my work, that's you challenging me. That's something else. Okay, but I've never challenged you on something that you didn't say. Okay, never claimed that you said something that you didn't say. Okay, I challenge you on your work, the stuff that you won't answer. Okay, so whatever. Let's see. Number 6, 4 minutes. The whole thing about uh, the burden of proof. Okay. Well, here's the thing, man. You said in another video that science is the challenging of the current model. That was something that I had recorded that you had said and commented on before. Right. So what that means is the burden of proof is on them who challenge. Okay. In other words, there is no way, there's no credibility in just saying that somebody lies. There's no credibility in it whatsoever unless you can actually prove that they lied. Not prove that you disagree, but prove that they lied. Okay, because here you are calling me a liar. You call everybody in science a liar. You call everybody in any kind of scientific field a liar, and anybody who actually can represent those exact same things, you call them a liar. And yet you have nothing to prove of your own side of it. Okay. Sorry, I was looking at the chat. But I mean, if you cannot, uh, uh, if you can't back an accusation, or if you can't back calling somebody a liar, other than calling them a liar, you're not backing anything, man. Okay. There is nothing that you ever say, nothing that you have ever shown has held up. Nothing. Okay. You get thousands of followers because of the fact that you're on the controversial side of they lie, and there's enough paranoid people out there who are right on board with you on that. And you know what? The whole thing about secret groups and secret societies, well, fine. Okay. That doesn't have anything to do with the shape of the earth. None of it. Okay. Now you might see it as they're related because the secret groups don't want you to know and stuff like that. But no secret group is going to stop you from going out in your backyard and performing experimentation. I'm willing to bet that the 1 or 2 times that you went out to this canal that you want to do this laser test on, or that beach that you guys were doing the laser test on last time, okay, did any men in suits kind of approach you and tell you what your results were supposed to be? I doubt it. Okay, so anyway, let's see. Where is the evidence that okay, yeah. He said, where is the evidence that I said time and date is SunCalc? Okay, so this is a little quiz real quick for all the people watching. Okay, all the people watching, can I have everybody's attention real quick? Okay, all the people watching. Now, just type in, okay, if it's SunCalc, write SC. If it's time and date, write TD. Okay, I'm going to show you 2 slides here. You tell me where these images come from. Okay, everybody ready? Everybody ready? So, let's see. Now, again, SunCalc, SC, time and date, TD. Where do these images come from? Right here. Let me see. Let me see what the chat says. I don't know how long my delay is because of my bandwidth, but we'll see. Okay, that's probably the pause of when I was saying it, so give it a couple of seconds here. Yeah, my internet's moving kind of slow. What? Crickets? I think that's SunCalc. This right here, these two images right here. Is this SunCalc or is this timeanddate.com? Sean, get rid of validation boy, please. Okay, well, I guess I'm not gonna get any not gonna get any answers here. Oh well. Must be various other arguments going on in there. Well, okay, John Mickelson said time and date. These okay, now they're coming in. I'm sorry. This is where it goes a little bit slow on me. Okay, time and date, time and date. Sean, don't be a putz. Never went much to either site. Okay, well, your average flat earther would be able to answer this. These are from timeanddate.com. This is what happens when you put in the sun calculator and you put into a date of a location. Okay, it's real simple. Oh, Steve Bauman also says time and date. Okay, now there is a minor difference, just minor difference in appearance when you use SunCalc. This is SunCalc. Oops. In front. Okay. Yeah, you are, Jeff. Okay. This is SunCalc. We all know SunCalc quite well. Okay. Pretty simple stuff. Okay. Jaron says that he didn't say that in my distance to the sun video, these are actually the two captures that I used in that. I just copied them over here. Okay. Jaron says that this was from SunCalc. Now Jaron says in this video he didn't say it was from SunCalc. I know we're just kind of splitting hairs a little bit here, but at the same time he brought it back up. Okay, so in his video, where is it? Hold on, I'll even get it for you. Fine. Videos. Come on. That was the response to Jeranism. Oh no, it was I'm sorry. Yeah, there it is right there. Come on, without crashing.
This is what happens when you go live. You do some things you didn't mean to do. Let's see. What is measuring the distance to the sun? How are you going to measure the distance to the sun, guy? Go ahead, tell me how. Let's see. Can you stop making that noise? Here's an easy way to get a rough distance to the sun. An easy way? So easy, Dr. Zach could do it. Oh, that's hilarious. I wonder if Dr. Zach watches your videos. My bet would be no, considering...
Actually, Dr. Zach does watch my videos. If anybody recalls, not too long ago, the big debacle about his eclipse video where he actually came on to respond. And as a matter of fact, if I may bring this up here, comments. Let's see, got some bullshit on here. We got some more bullshit on here. Let me go over here to my spam. I have an interesting problem here. I'll show you here in a second. There we go. This was, let me recycle this here, because I just approved a comment through. This was 9 months ago that Dr. Zach had answered to that video about the eclipse and how he said it was wrong. Remember when he turned the Earth the wrong way? And now whoever this is, I don't know who he is, she is, I'm not aware, has put this on here, and it's been in here for 2 months. Now I use this to actually let me know that my internet connection is working when I see this, but I can't approve this comment because it's in Zach's thread, and Zach has me blocked, which was a problem. It was a big debacle in the whole thing anyway, because I couldn't answer Zach directly, so I actually had to make a video to answer him because he wouldn't acknowledge the other thread that I made to answer him. And what do you call it? So yeah, Zach does watch my shit, dude. So, but not like I really care. Yeah. Anyway, moving on. Yeah.
You say stupid shit like that, and then he'd be like, Dr. Zach doesn't respond to my video challenge. Yeah, nope.
He did.
Shit. The reason it'll be a rough distance is because the angles provided by many online sources are quite general. What? and are not meant to provide the level of high precision needed for an exact estimate. Given the measurements you are seeking, a tenth of a degree difference can be a few 100,000. Yeah, that's why. How are you going to do an easy figuring this out? I'd like to see this. All right, step 1. How many steps are we doing? Pick 2 locations, one north of the Tropic of Cancer, one south. Okay.
Here it comes.
Great. So you're not doing observations, by the way. You're going to SunCalc. It's not observation.
Not doing observations, by the way. You're going to SunCalc.
Tropic of Cancer, one south. Okay. Great. So you're not doing observations, by the way. You're going to SunCalc. It's not observation.
Okay. So, anyway, Jeranism, it's not a big point, but yeah, you did say that my stuff was from SunCalc. So, deal with it. Oh, let's see. Let's see here. So moving on. What do we got? Let's see. Where's the SunCalc thing? I told you this is going to be long because this shit. Oh man. Okay, like I said, the ring laser thing. That was item number 8 at about 6 minutes and 40 seconds. The ring laser thing, Sean brought it to my attention. Again, I didn't know anything about it, and I'm not going to claim that I do know about something when I don't know. Okay, and I'm not just going to buy into it, even though Jaron says in the video that basically I just kind of sucked it up and took it as fact and all this. I took it as plausible, I'll give you that, but no, didn't take it as fact. Okay, I was just reacting to something that somebody brought to my attention. Anyway, let's see. Number 9 at 7 minutes 20 seconds. These guys are allowed to slander with completely false statements. And then he goes on to this little violin story about, I know how bad it feels to be dude. And then backing it up with zero evidence, he says. The entire flat earth claim is a false statement. The whole thing, front to back. And no, I'm not talking about your version of flat earth where it just has to do with everybody lies and oh, and it's such a terrible world and all this other stuff. No, I'm talking about the shape of the earth. Okay? Prove something. I mean, really. You know, bad mouthing folks and stating that everything's a lie but backing it up with nothing, that's, dude, when are you going to provide proof of anything, dude? Okay, really, when are you going to provide? Let's see. What is it? Nah. All right. Sorry, I was looking at the chat. I mean, when are you going to provide any proof of anything, Jaron? Really? When? When? I want to know when. I want to know when you're going to prove something that supports flat Earth. Okay? Something that concludes only a flat Earth that would not work at all with any explanation on the globe. Just one. Try it. Okay? I'll bet you $1. Sound fair? You got $1, I got $1. I'll bet you $1. So, let's see. Yeah, and then let's see. Number 10 at 7 minutes 40 seconds. I just kind of bought into it. No, I was reacting to a comment, dude. So deal with it. Yeah, okay. Number 11 at 8 minutes 20 seconds. The feeling of being wrongfully accused. You know how many people call me a liar? Okay, that used to bother me until the actual people who persistently called me a liar actually proved themselves liar. I think the first one was that dude Jeremiah, who didn't even know what where the front and back extents of a 747 were, but he was certain it proved something. Let's see. Yeah, well, even you called me that. Wrongfully accused me of all kinds of shit, Jared. Let's see. I'm reading through my notes here. I'm sorry if there's little pauses here. But I wanted to make sure that I covered everything on here without actually playing out his stupid shit. All right, let's see. Number 12 at 8 minutes 30 seconds. He's talking about my video. Claims this to be proof over evidence. No, I didn't claim it to be proof over anything. I actually said it was a generalization. Okay. And I also explained how easy it was to do. Now, there's a neat thing that he brought up in the video. Where's that out? That is at 8 minutes 30 seconds. Oh shit, I got all these damn windows open right now. No, not that one. No, not that one. Where's it at? Okay, there it is. At 8 minutes and 30 seconds. Where is it? 8:38 or something. Oh, that was when he was talking about it at first. He he makes an interesting claim here. Let me go ahead and grow this up a little bit, and then
Edge of the circle. You now measure that line. This will be your baseline. We go to step
measure
14,
chord, blah blah blah,
and we take
now this was the part that I thought was funny. The angles that are involved in measuring the distance to the sun are very precise. Very precise. Okay. A whole number plus a 1 decimal point is not very precise in that calculation. Okay. So, wait, hold on a second here. Yeah. I said the difference in angles of just 0.02 degrees on each side will yield a 3 million kilometer difference. Well, he took that as a unit of measure. So that means 3 million miles or 3 million kilometers per 0.02 degrees of offset. Well, here's the funny part. I didn't say that. Okay, I didn't say that. I just said that if it was off by that much, here was the difference on that. And nowhere in there did I say that that was a new unit of measure or something like that, and especially not because see what he did was he just went he just added 3 million, or he added 3 for every 0.02 degrees. And then no, that's not what it means. I just said if it was off by that much, it's up to 3 million. It was not a unit of measure for you to somehow claim that I was claiming something there. Okay, now here's something I could show you. See, I was working on this for when you guys decided to do the Eratosthenes experiment, which you decided not to, and I'll get into that in a little bit here because he went into that as well. Here it is in Excel. Now I was just doing a simple. These are not these are not locations that were used in my test. I was just doing a simple number setup just to test that all my formulas were right. Okay, so if at 45 degree north latitude, 45 degrees south latitude, okay, the angle which was measured by the Eratosthenes experiment at those two locations, if it was 44.9. Okay, now here's all the distances that would be a result of that, and those distances do change when I change these angles in these locations. The chord would be 9,000 kilometers, 9,010 kilometers. Half of the chord, because I had to do that for calculation, that resulted in let's say 2.6 million kilometers. Okay. That's what it resulted in. Okay. Now, in my video, I showed it actually a little bit closer, which came out to 1 million. Okay. It's because these were angled in even further. And I was using different locations. So, now let me show you the degrees of accuracy. Now, please pay attention to the fact that my angles will not change from 44.9 on either one of these. Okay. However, I'm going to add additional decimal points here. Okay, because you know that this a 44.9 could be anywhere from 44.85 to 44.94. After that, you have to round up. Okay, so there's a whole degree. There's whole 90%, 99% of a degree beyond this point of flexibility. Now, in order to get to the actual distance stated to the sun, I had to go this many decimals. I actually sat here and farted around with this to find out exactly how close I would get. And that's how I would end up with that. Okay, now I'll even show you it here happening here. Okay, I'm going to take off all of these. Now the numbers are all going to change here as I'm doing this because the calculations happen actively. Okay, see that? See, so I'm going to go 9, 1. Okay, and then 9, excuse me, 1. Okay, you see how much distance is changing here? Okay, that's a lot of distance. So we'll go to 9, 3. That just jumped over 1,000,000 right there. We'll go to 9, 3 again. Okay, you see the differences in just these minor bits of degrees added. Okay, fractions of degrees, stuff that we wouldn't get out of the Eratosthenes experiment very well. Okay, unless we actually got down there and looked at where the bottom of the sun was versus the top of the sun, or picked a side of it to measure from. That's the, and not to mention the sun itself is 0.54 degrees in angular size from our viewpoint. So that's a whole half a degree that you could be off if you're just pointing, like, you know, at the glare. Okay, see how that works? And I was sure that somebody was probably going to want this, so everybody just, well, I'm going to show you the formulas that I used here so you guys can come back and check this. Okay, A3 is to be entered from the user. That's the latitude. B3, I'll just say 1 through 11 here. Okay, and I have them labeled here as to what angles they refer to. Okay, number 2 is obviously the angle of the shadow that was cast for the first observer. Second observer, and number 3 is the latitude. Third, or number 4 is the angle observed by number 2. Okay, so to get globe surface was pretty simple. Okay, and you can use this formula. Go ahead and get that. That is grabbing information from F3 given the radius of the Earth. Okay, radius of the Earth is to be entered by the user. You can change that and everything will change, but you need to be accurate with your change. Okay, now the latitude here was, let's see, it was, oh, I think I moved the decimal on that or something. I don't remember what I did. Anyway, that's C3 and A3. That is a accumulation of the two latitudes. Okay, the chord. This was fun to get, and it took a little bit of time to work it out right, but this is the formula to get the chord between observer 1 and observer 2, given the radius that you gave here. Okay, now you had to divide the chord in half. The reason why I had to divide the chord in half is because I was only able to accomplish the formula for an isosceles triangle, not a 3 independent corner triangle. So, and that's basically, and then that's the average of the observation angles, which ends up being these two, which is the very same system I used there. Okay, and then this is the calculation that results from it, getting the tan to find out what the distance is from number 11 here, which is which would be the adjacent, going all the way up to wherever the meeting point is. Cool. Now, I don't care if you don't get that, Jaron. I really don't. But I just gave you, you probably have Excel at home. I don't know if you do, but if not, you have, what's the other one called from Open Office, spreadsheet or something like that? I don't know. Or calc. You can put these same formulas in there. So I just showed you all the formulas. You can do the numbers yourself. Okay? Cool. Now, again, just to show you the difference, boom, boom, boom. Let me go ahead and put all the big numbers back in here. Just by extending how many calculations and are beyond the decimal point there was the difference between 149 million and 2 million. Okay, in less than 1/10 of a degree. So, shut up. Okay, really, shut up. So, going on from there. Let's see. I already covered the balloon thing. That was number 14 at 1606. He started talking about the balloon and how it wasn't shut down and it wasn't taken away and all this. Sorry, dude. You know, if you guys can't do the experiment, then maybe you shouldn't be asking for other people's money to do it. Let's see. And then he went on again about me believing Sean. Well, sorry, dude. Again, I listen to Sean, but I won't produce it as my facts until I research it. Okay? But, you know, I listen to people like Sean and Red and Wolfie and all those other people, Dang Joss and Five Red Pears and a bunch of other people who actually are performing the work, who are actually doing the numbers and doing the experiments, actually showing their results and showing their work. I would listen to them at face value, but until I actually research it, hey, that's on me. What did I had to go back a year to grab a quote where he goes full conspiracy route on Glowbusters. Well, Sean, I totally agree with you. I'm 100% sure that well, obviously I can't be 100% sure, but I'll put it at 99.9999999% sure that Jaron went all mass conspiracy as to why his balloon failed, or if it even existed. So, sorry that this one made me choke. Number 16 at 20 minutes and 47 seconds, he says, and I quote, the highest point of the he says that the highest point of the dome would be above the equator, and the lowest points above the north pole and the south pole. Just because you can't figure out how that works doesn't mean it's not true. This is Jaron. Those were Jaron's words. Okay, so basically, I'm going to coin a phrase, I guess, here. I wonder how many people are going to repeat it. Jaron believes in the donut dome. Okay. Jaron quoted. Let me actually, you know what? Let me like I said, every once in a while, I'm going to bring up his quotes. Let's see, 2047, 2047, 2047. Hey, Sean, look, you're a lying scumbag. Okay, hold on.
The top of the dome is at the North Pole. In fact, I believe that the highest point would be above the equator, with the lowest points being at the North Pole and South Pole. And just because you can't figure out how that works doesn't mean it's not true.
Okay. Yes. Jaron is claiming a donut dome. That's no bullshit, because that's what that results in. Okay, Jaron's an AE guy. Made a video about it. Why I'm still an AE guy. What that means is that the dome is a donut. Its highest point, or well, actually, it would be a half donut. the highest point of the dome, which is actually not a dome, it's just the atmosphere or something like that. The highest point of the dome is over the equator. Lowest points, which would have to be the ground, but you know, I'll give him I'll give him a little bit of space on the North Pole, because I really hope he's not saying that at the North Pole the dome comes all the way down to the ground. But nevertheless, it's a donut dome on an AE map. Okay. Now I'm going to have to get back to him on that. Okay, but the first things that come because I've never heard somebody make that claim before. Now, again, I don't watch everybody's stuff. Maybe it's a popular thing now. I have never heard of the donut dome before. Never. Okay, not even in any other, even minorly serious context. And so, according to Jaron, donut dome is the thing. So. But I'm going to get back to him on that. But the first things that come to mind is obviously star trails. Star trails on a donut dome, people looking at Polaris, you would see consecutive rings above each other. If that were the case, hopefully you're saying it's transparent. But on a donut dome, let's just say that this is you on the ground. Okay. Now, if the dome were actually, oh, fuck it, I'll just do it like this. If the dome were actually going like this, okay, sorry for the crudeness. I'm just not going to do it very hard. And this being the center of the map, obviously, here would be the South Pole, or the South Edge. Here would be the North Pole in the middle. Here would be the South Edge on the other end. Stars that circled around it, with no bullshit, would look like this, which ultimately, from the ground level, of course, this is just cross-section level, but from the ground level, would look similar to, let's see, it would look like this, and then, now, of course, I'm certain if he decides to answer this, he's going to say, of course, that's absurd, and blah, 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 and he's just trying to make me look bad. Well, I'm sorry, dude. This is what your claim looks like. Okay, if you had stars, they would disappear as they went along the backside of whatever this dip would be. Okay, they would disappear. Okay, this would be the trails in a star trail video. Okay, they would disappear as they go around the backside. Now, if it's transparent, then the star trails would look like this. I'm sorry, star trails would look like this. They would be circles overlapping each other. If you were a dropping dome at the North Pole. Okay? I mean, really. That is what your claim is. That was what that let me make sure I play it again. Seeing that he likes to repeat shit. Repeat. And since I'm being blamed for just repeating stuff, let me go ahead and play this one more time here.
Acts as a dome, and I never said that the top of the dome is at the North Pole. In fact, I believe that the highest point would be above the equator, with the lowest points being at the North Pole and South Pole. And just because you can't figure out how that works doesn't mean it's not true.
Okay, so we cool on that? Okay, so Jaron is a donut dome guy, but again, I'm not going to make any wild things on that other than what I just drew, until I can model that out. I don't have, honestly, I have a whole bunch of models that I've had to make in 3D just to work out some of the claims that flat earthers make. I honestly don't have that one, so I'll get back to you on that. And yes, he did say South Pole, by the way. So whatever. Oh, and then back to this subject, the subject that he never wanted to answer until he answered this one. He finally addresses it in this. Number 17 at minute 21:15. He said, I never said that you worship and adore pedophiles. Okay, everybody knows this argument. At least people who have followed my stuff know this argument, because this is my beef with Jeranism. And then he goes on and plays this plays his quote of following us. That was me, Daza, and Wolfie. Would lead to further enslavement by baby-eating demons, or pedophiles and baby-eating demons. What he didn't play in his video, this video from yesterday, what he didn't play in his video was the part before that where he talks about the people that we worship and adore, which he finally labels as pedophiles and baby-eating demons. Okay, so nice job on the edit there, Jaron. Let's see. At number 18, 2205, you worship science, he says. Jaron, get tired of defining things to you. I'm atheist. Okay, which by definition means that I don't worship anything. Okay, the closest thing that you could say that I worship is my family. Okay, but that's a different kind. That's love, man. That's not worship. Okay, so I don't worship anyone or anything. Okay, I pay no homage to anybody. Okay, I don't go to church. You know, e nomine my protractor. Okay, so really, you need to honestly stop making that claim. Okay, I don't have any pictures of Einstein here, or Newton, or Copernicus, or Galileo. Okay, hell, the only globe I got is the one little globe that you saw in the thing that I debunked your laser test. But you know, that's the only one I own, and it's not really even that good. So anyway, you really need to drop that part, because that's your claim which you cannot substantiate. Okay, and even if I did, seeing that you've never been to my home, okay, you've never been to my home, you don't even know me. Okay, so claiming who I worship is really a waste of time. Okay, it really is. Let's see. And then he claims that we're just repeating stuff. What do you call it? I'm sorry, number 19 at 2240 says we're just repeating stuff. Well, the thing is, no, it's called testing stuff. I test stuff. You bring me a claim, I test it. Okay, and if it doesn't even make it past the first test, come on, man. And in that, math is a tool. There is more math and more geometry and more trigonometry and higher levels of algebra in the mouse that you use, okay, to make your videos. There is more of that in that one little device than you have ever used or produced for any of your claims of flat Earth. And it's even a lot more than the simple geometry that was used in the Eratosthenes experiment that we used and you even said was correct. Okay? Easy enough? All right, then. So that's just so stupid. Oh, and then he goes off onto, honestly, what I think is the meat of all of his discussions anyway. Okay. Honestly, I personally think that he uses flat Earth as he's one of those people that you go to a green energy convention and he's the guy who's over there saying, yeah, green energy, now buy my pills for veganism or something like that. Okay, you know, he uses flat Earth, you know, I basically, you know, almost in a Trojan horse type manner, you know, where he claims flat Earth just so he can say all this other shit. And Jaron, if you want to talk about, let's see, where was it? Number 20, 23, 25 in his video, the whole led by the rich thing. Duh. Okay. But what does that have to do with the shape of the Earth? I mean, the measurable, performing honest experimentation shape of the Earth. Now, if you were only, you know, believing what other people said, yeah, you probably would be a moron. Okay. You probably would be. Okay, if we only went to the moon once and only ever heard about it, of course that would be wide open to question. Okay, and if you couldn't actually see the sun, then you know it would be a hard sell to say that it proves anything. Do you understand what I mean? So this whole thing about being led by the rich and all this other stuff, dude, that, I mean, that might have plenty of validity. Okay, I don't know, you don't know. It's a great assumption, and you could probably back it with a couple of ideas. Sure. Okay, has nothing to do with the physical shape of the earth. Sure, it might have to do with where some money goes, but who cares? Okay, I mean, literally, who cares? What does that have to do with the shape of the earth? Hell, here's a little joke for you. Here's a soundbite for your next video. You ready? Okay, even gravity is an irrelevant subject for those who do not believe in God. And yes, you did say Jesus can suck your dick. Um, for those who don't believe in God, even gravity is not a relevant subject to the shape of the earth. I'll let you chew on that one. Anyway, let's see. And I never said you worship baby eating demons. That's number 21 at 2503. Yeah, bullshit. We all know what you said. Okay. And oh, I'm supposed to research demon because apparently that's some kind of a paraphrase. Yeah, look it up. Okay. It's a spiritual being and all this that possesses things. That's just what it is. Okay. So be done with that. Let's see, number 22, which was right in that little discussion there at the 25 mark. Let's see, your quote from Lewis McFadden. Yeah, okay. Where does he say demon in that? Okay, where does he say baby eating in that? So because of his talk about the Federal Reserve, that's neat and political and all that, has nothing to do with the shape of the earth. Nothing to do with the shape of the earth. Okay? So, anyway, moving on. Number 23 at 20 minutes, 28 minutes exactly. Or at least that's what I have written here. Probably about a second or two off. Now he's talking about the experiment. For anybody who doesn't know, I invited Globebusters to perform the Eratosthenes experiment using flat earthers this time, because no flat earthers wanted to participate in mine, which is fine, I mean, but do it yourself. If you question its validity, do it yourself. And let's see, Globebusters are not afraid of the experiment. We know we're going to get the globe answer. Let me. I think I wrote that in Cliff Note version. Let me make sure I get that quote 100% correct. Let's see here.
If we do the observations and then put them into globe math, guess what? We're going to come back with the globe answer. Just like you said earlier, if you don't know the shape of the earth, then you can't do the math involved. Well, if we were going to go...
No, that's not what I said. What I actually said was that, what do you call it? You judging the long distance to the sun requires you first to know the shape of the earth. Okay. And since the experiment does not conclude a flat earth or measurements across a flat plane, you're not on a flat earth. It's just that I mean, that's just that simple. That's what I said. But he said Globebusters are not afraid of doing the experiment. They consider it a waste of time because it's repeating a proven fact, a repeatable fact. Okay, don't be a bunch of wusses. Do the experiment. I know you guys seem to find it offensive in some way that I even offered to do the calculations for you live. Show me that I'm wrong. Okay, but y'all didn't want that. Bob told me to fuck off and die. Yeah, so Yeah, y'all ain't afraid of nothing. Let's see. We're not afraid to do the experiments. We're going to get the globe answer. Right. So what calculations do you expect to use to prove that it's wrong? I mean, really, what calculations do you expect to prove that it's wrong? Because I don't think discussions about the Federal Reserve will have anything to do with the results of a distance to the sun. Let's see here. Let's see. Yeah. The experiment being a waste of time, it's because it's repeating proven fact. That was number 24 at 28 minutes, 20 seconds. Yeah. Now, you got to understand this. Number 25 at 28 minutes, 30 seconds. Globebusters is not afraid of doing the experiment. It's a waste of time. It's already been done. Okay, understand what that means. It's a waste of time. It's already been done. So in that, you are not challenging my results, meaning that the conclusions that I drew, which were the same ones that were drawn by Eratosthenes, what, 2,000 something years ago, are the same. So basically what you are saying, when you say Globebusters is not afraid of doing the experiment, it's a waste of time, it's already been done, that means you accept those numbers. You accept the conclusions of that experiment. So basically in that, you accept that we live on a globe. There's no other place to go with that. So thank you. Number 26 at 29:56. This oh damn, sorry. He blames the experiments or the location of the sun in the sky to an observer. He pulled the magic card to get out of explanation free card from page 1 of the Flat Earth Handbook, and that is because of perspective. Okay, the open-ended flat Earth version of perspective does not answer the location of the sun unless you can calculate that conclusion. Okay, unless you can calculate that conclusion. It's simple. Okay, you can't use a conclusion that you cannot calculate. Okay, you can't find the cat shit unless you can smell it. Okay, so yeah. Now he gave an example in there about perspective being also the reason why somebody standing on the North Pole during whatever time of year would see the sun on the horizon, whereas somebody obviously at the equator would see it directly above them. Now I'm assuming that he meant at the equinox, because that's the only time that the sun will be directly overhead at the equator. Well, let's do that triangulation, shall we? Because what you don't realize, Jaron, is that that doesn't even work. Even that doesn't work. Okay, it doesn't. So at the equinox, a 5,000 kilometer, you can quote me on this, okay, because I did these numbers while I was listening to your video. At the equinox, a 5,000 kilometer high sun is viewed from the 10,000 kilometer distant North Pole. Okay, 10,000 kilometers, it's give or take about 10 kilometers, or 10 or 20 kilometers. At the North Pole would still be visible 26 degrees above the horizon due to real life perspective, okay, which is nothing more than line of sight due to distance. Okay, 26 degrees above the horizon. No bullshit. And that would be in all directions that day. Okay. Now, to continue on, this is where it doesn't make sense. Okay. At the winter solstice, from that same North Pole point, the sun would only be 21.6 degrees above the horizon. Okay. If the equator is 40,000. I'm not really sure where you're going with that, Goldsmith. Sorry, I'm reading the chat. At the winter solstice from the North Pole, from the North Pole, standing directly on the North Pole, it would be 21.6 degrees up. During the summer solstice, from the same point again, it would be 34 degrees above the horizon. That's due to actual measurable perspective. Measurable, calculable, geometry. Okay, now this is where it gets funny. He had said that he had mentioned that the sun would be all the way down at the horizon. Well, to bring the sun all the way down to the horizon at solar noon on the North Pole during the equinox, due to calculable and geometric perspective. Okay, the North Pole. This is where you're gonna love this. In order to get the 0.54 degree wide sun to actually touch the horizon, just the bottom of it to touch. If you were pointing at the center of that, whatever measuring device you were using, you know how far away the North Pole would have to be from the equator? Anybody? Anybody? 1,060,000 kilometers away from the equator. Now, you're probably wondering where I got that from. I love these online tools. This is why I don't understand how some of these people can do this shit. Okay, now I got all these numbers from here. Okay, because all you have to do is plug in the numbers. Okay, so let me clear the whole thing. Okay, now this would be the C would be the equator. Okay, this would be your observation point. B, the adjacent, would be your distance away from the equator, and A, the opposite leg, would be the altitude of the sun going up to B. Okay, simple. Okay, so first I'm going to do the equator one that I said a second ago. Now the circumference. Yeah. The circumference of the Earth is what, 40,075 kilometers. Okay, so that means the distance from the North Pole to the South Pole, which is half of that, is 20,000 kilometers. We'll just go with the nice rounded 20,000. Okay, which means that the equator is right in the middle of that, so the distance from the equator to the North Pole is 10,000 kilometers. So if I go 5,000 kilometers up, okay, and 10,000 kilometers out, okay, the angle here, A, that's where I'm going for, is right down here. The angle at point A, calculate 26.6, which is what I just said a second ago. Okay, well, actually, I said 26. I didn't say the point at that point. I'm sorry. 26.6 degrees. So now, in order for this angle, which is angle A, to dip down to the equator, or to dip down to the horizon, it would have to be, now, like I said, the sun is 0.54 degrees in angular size. So half of that, if you were pointing at the center, okay, half of that would be 0.27 degrees. Okay, so to get 0.27 degrees here, now we already have the sun at 5,000 kilometers, so we can't change that. So we have to stretch out the distance. Now I'll save you the work of how many times I had to go through different numbers to try and figure this, or find this one. I will just punch in the numbers here. So that's 1, 0, 6, 0, 0, 0, 0. 1,060,000 kilometers. Calculate 0.27. Okay, so that, while you're over there talking about your map on your other hangout right now. That right there shows you that the North Pole to the equator would have to be 1,060,000 kilometers away from the equator to the North Pole, just to get the required height to get the bottom of the sun to touch the horizon. And that's without even factoring in anything like refraction, which actually lifts things up. Refraction doesn't make things go down, it lifts them up. Okay? Cool? Anyway, spent way too much time on that one right there. But it's all for a good cause, I guess. Now, you also mentioned that obviously the never unfunny thing of the sun goes away due to distance. Well, sun goes away due to distance. Let me just give you a short example here. When you look at a car headlights, I'm sure you probably you live, I think, in California, so I'm sure there's been a time in your life where you have seen cars from a great distance. And if not, you've probably seen an airplane looking straight up from great distance at night. And you can see the lights. Well after you have lost the ability to tell the shape of the lights on the front of a car or back of a car or on the sides of an airplane, long after you have lost the ability to see that or to recognize what shape that is or even what size it is, the light is still getting to you. That's how you know where it is. Okay, a little bright little pinpoint of light. Okay, that is the thing about a light emitting object, is that the light will get to you still long after you have lost sight of the actual shape of the sun. So when you take a photograph of the sun at sunset or sunrise, okay, it hasn't even gained enough distance away from you to not be able to make out its shape. So therefore, its light would not be gone either. Okay, which means that disproves in itself the whole notion that the sun disappears due to distance. I mean, it disproves it in itself, because now I know you're going to answer back with, well, you don't even know what the sun is and all this, and I don't care. I don't care about that answer. The simple part is that because you can still see the shape of the sun, that means its light would still be equally, if not, well, it would still be equal as it was earlier. Okay? So the whole distance thing, oh my God, that's stupid. Let's see. Number 27 at 29 minutes 10 seconds. It is possible for smart men, knowing the true shape of the earth, that they could easily, this is a quote from Jaron. It is possible for smart men, knowing the true shape of the earth, that they could easily adjust things in a way that makes you think their experiment proves we live on a ball. If you weren't able to do the math yourself, even the experimentation is repeatable. So, who cares what somebody else did? Okay, you might use that as the basis or the kickoff for what it was that you wanted to do. But truth be told, yeah, you can do the experimentation yourself, all of it. Okay, I mean, who did Copernicus get it from? Now you could probably stack people beyond that, but who'd they get it from? They're not repeating stuff. They were founders of their experimentation. So whatever. Let's see. Number 28 at 29 minutes 56 seconds. The name. Oh, he was complaining about the fact that I am not. I had said that my experimentation. I follow the facts at the end of an experiment, which is true. I follow the facts at the end of an experiment. That's why I said it. That's why he quoted me on it. I don't go into an experiment. Yeah, sure, I might hope. the first experiment that I did in this whole flat Earth thing, I was just like, what, I'm still, I still love that experiment, but I'm like, well, what if I'm wrong? And so I went into it, saying that, well, you can only go where the facts take you, so you either accept it or you don't. And I won't go into what experiment that is, because that was the experiment that I had that $5,000 bet on that not a single flat earther has taken. But it's a very simple one, and it's based on very old technology. So and I was just like, well, I had convinced I'm sitting on the roof of my house, and I was just like, if this turns out to be something other than what's known about the globe, what am I going to do? And I actually sat there and I said to myself, I said, you can only go where the facts take you, because I'm a logic person. I only go where the facts take me. I don't go where people's words take me. Okay, I really don't, unless I'm watching a movie. So the name. So he complained. He says the name that I that's not actually what I think, and that's not how I work and stuff like that, because the name of my video was called Flat Earth Debunked. Okay, with the Eratosthenes experiment. Jaron, after you make a video, you give it a title, right? So that means once you get to the point of your conclusions at the end of an experiment, then you compose your video and put it forth. Give it a title. So what is the point of pointing out what my title of my video was when you write the title of the video after you've performed the experiment? I mean, really, it's just fucking crazy. Let's see. Number 29 at 30 minutes 38 seconds, and I don't even understand what relevance that has. I mean, how many fucking videos have you seen that say 100% flat Earth proof, and not one of them has any proof in it? So go bitch at them. Number 29 at 30 minutes 38 seconds. Yeah, I showed that the Eratosthenes experiment does not function on the flat Earth, and but he says it's because it's under my beliefs and my rules. My beliefs and mathematical rules, I mean, my beliefs have nothing to do with anything. Okay, I follow what the facts say, and if you got no facts, well, then you got nothing. Let's see. 30 number 30 at 30 minutes 53 seconds. The atmosphere displaces the sun. Yes, you need to learn about how that refraction actually works and why. Because it's actually not supporting your claim, as in the case of the sun and everything else, basically. It actually raises the sun. That's where the whole apparent sun and apparent moon come in, stuff like that. That because even Neil deGrasse said it. Okay, I'm not quoting him, but because he's not the first one to know this. Yeah. Yeah, I don't even know how far to go with that. Number 31 at 31 minutes 33 seconds. Mathematics have been constructed around these ideas of indoctrination and etc. Yeah. Well, then, if mathematics was constructed around the ideals of indoctrination, okay, show me where 2 plus 2 equals globe. Because 2 plus 2 is math. And if math was invented for indoctrination, yeah, talk to whoever your employer is and tell him that that you don't believe his math. Yeah, and then when you say you don't believe it, I would really like to hear what your counter argument is. What you use in your counter argument. Anyway, let's see. Number Number 32 at 32 minutes 14 seconds. Oh, he brings up that pi thing. Pi as in the mathematical measurement using for circumference. I love listening to you argue math with math. So go figure. So, and if you're using math that was actually constructed for indoctrination, then how can you claim to be right if you're using what you claim to be false and misleading in the first place? Let's see. Number 33 at 34 minutes 13 seconds. Oh, yeah, he mentions the polls. Deal with that. Number 34 minutes 37 seconds. Let's see. No, Jaron says he won't talk to me because I talked to Sean. Oh my God. I didn't know we got back to high school. I'm not going to talk to him because he's friends with him. He's friends with her. And she really, Jaron? That just means that you are looking for any possible way to not address anything that I say to you. Okay? I mean, really. That is, and if that was the case, then why have you centered so much of this discussion? He centered a lot of his video on Sean. Which is, I mean, don't get me wrong, it's fine, I guess. But the other side of it is, you seem to be focusing a lot of attention there, but you won't answer any of my independent videos which debunk or at least explain the stuff that you do. Okay? But now you want to blame it on Sean. So, oh my God. Let's see. And then you said something about me building a straw man. Dude, as I said before, the flat earth is a straw man. Or at least in your case, is a Trojan horse. So you can inject your they lie stuff. Which is why not once have you ever done an experiment which actually concludes your stuff. You've never done anything. You've never done an honest analysis of anything. Nothing that actually concludes the Earth, the physical shape of the Earth, to be flat. I mean, really, just one. Still got that dollar bet on you there. Okay, you use flat Earth as your straw man. Okay, you use flat Earth as your paid entrance to talk about everything else but the shape of the Earth. Okay, now you're going to come back and you're going to say that I talk about the Earth all the time and how it doesn't work and all this other stuff. Yeah, but you don't prove anything. Okay, I back my words. You don't. You back it with they lie. Anyway, number 37 at 39 minutes 24 seconds. Oh, he's what do you call it? He's talking about his laser experiment. Let's see. Now, I specifically stated that you putting test poles on the road would be a waste of time. And then you say that I look foolish saying stuff like that because you confirm that you are actually putting your stuff on the road. Why not use the water? Just being next to water ain't going to do anything for you. Okay? It's just really not. And I really would like to see your attempt at measuring the height of the road versus the water at every location. Like I said, you're just making it more complicated than it needs to be, and it adds more questions than it has answers. And by the way, using a theodolite, something that kind of occurred to me while I was doing this, if you use a theodolite to gauge the accuracy of the height of your poles that you have on the road, a theodolite creates a tangent. Okay, a theodolite does not create arc. Okay, so basically you're just going to be proving your own thought by making a straight line. It just doesn't make any sense. Oh, let's see. How do you believe? Oh yeah, at number 36 at 35 minutes 47 seconds. He actually agrees with me that believing something that doesn't have any proof makes you an idiot. Well, Jaron, how you doing, idiot? Oh, let's see. Yeah, I had accidentally jumped over that one. My bad. So skipping back forward now, number 38 at 40 minutes and 12 seconds. Yes, the comment about Riley and the electrolysis because there's power lines there and it's near water. Yes, that was said in jest because Riley actually seriously said that power lines near water in the atmosphere, suspended above it or near it, causes curvature. So, yeah. But, you know, you guys back those people anyway. Oh, okay, number 39 at 41 minutes and 40 seconds. The Branco whatever Sims account. Jaron says it's not his. Well, that's interesting because all the descriptions are copy and paste from his, which the people who do mirrors, they don't do that. Now they might put a link to somebody else's channel, which seems to have been put in there now. But they don't copy and paste all of the original videos text. Now, even then, now Jaron says, "Oh, I had to talk with him, or I put in a complaint and had him remove the Patreon and PayPal URLs." And so, according to Jaron, that alone means that it's not him, just because those two links aren't on there. All the other links to all of his other email addresses and his channel and all that other crap is still his. And Jaron, I hate to point this out to you, bud, but all the uploaded thumbnails are also of the same original size and bit quality. And so people who mirror videos, and yes, there were people who mirrored your video about how me, Wolfie, and Daza are deceivers of the world. People did mirror that, of course, and stuff like that. But in their mirrors, they all look the same. These are on different channels and stuff like that, and it basically freezes the frame at where I think it's Wolfie who was looking down some street that goes down to the coast. They all mirror there. Okay. Mirrors don't transfer also the thumbnail. That's a completely different activity. It has nothing to do with it. So yeah. So you want to tell me that somebody mirrors your videos and only your videos, puts in all of the data to draw the direct attention to you, even to your PayPal and your Patreon account, which you say, well, since it has been removed, I can confirm that those two links were removed, even though the itemization is still there. You say that means that's not you. You're full of shit, dude. Okay, I'm sorry, you're full of shit. You found a repository, that's all. So, but I'm not even going to go any further into that. You know it's your stuff. Okay. Let's see. Number 40, and right after that he does this, now let's do a quick timeout, you know, and so he's like basically deflecting away from his own discussion. Number 41 at 42 minutes 49 seconds, he says, Sly believes that this is real. Okay, now what he pointed out some, I don't know, some 60s or 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever it was. Hold on, let me get to the point here where it is. There's some footage. Yeah, there's some footage of, I don't know, guys training, or maybe even in something. I don't know. I don't even know where. I don't recognize the origin of the footage.
I think that's real.
He says,
I'm not really sure we can go any further.
Okay, he says that I said that this is real. Okay, can you please point out the video where I said, or Hangout or blog or anything like that where I said that this was real? Okay, I don't even know what mission this is from. I really don't. Okay, or even if it's from a mission, I don't know. Could be a movie. I don't care. But yeah, I don't. So claiming that I think that that's real, yeah, that's a stretch. That's just kind of making up shit to take it off the fact that you got nothing really to say about me, dude. Let's see. Didn't state before. Okay. So again, please point out where I said that that was real. So 42, number 42 at 43.55. We're almost there, guys. He claims that there was a scuba diver in this video. He says there's a scuba diver. Now, I don't know why he does this, but he picks the crappiest video. Or maybe he digitally zooms in on it. Maybe it's just part of something larger. I don't know. Don't care. Okay. But to be honest with you, he says, now there's a scuba diver, you know, holding on to the end of this pole here. And that's what he's pointing at. Okay. He said there's a scuba diver holding on to the end of this pole. But it's a scuba diver you can't see. So it must be there because you can't see it. And then he goes into this whole thing about, let's see, then he inverts it, and he shows the compression glyphs. Let me show you something. All right, let me show you something. Okay, he says that this is, you know, well, he seems to be claiming that this is like masking or something like that, so that it hides, I don't know, the 1,000 scuba divers and maybe even the lunch table that's sitting over here. Who knows what? But I'm going to go ahead and let's see here. I'm going to go ahead here. Somebody throw me. Well, no, I'll just do something. That'll take too long before that goes through. I am going to something live. Let's see. Okay. Aircraft at night. Airliner night landing. Okay. Now what I want is something in full HD. So filter. I want something in full HD. Okay, well it says HD, but oh wow, those are in 4K. I'm not gonna go all the way up to 4K because I don't want to kill up my bandwidth here. Okay, what I want. Okay, night approach at Dublin. No, I want the actual plane landing. Oh wow, that'd be cool. But that's not what I'm looking for. I need something with a real good high contrast. Bear with me a second here, guys. I didn't plan to do this, so I'm just kind of grabbing something. Okay, this looks like it's going to have some nice high contrast. Is it going to be in HD though? Okay, now this is at 720 HD. Okay, now hopefully the quality in itself. Now, the claim that Jaron is making here is because of all this stuff. Okay, this is all a result of compression. Okay, the compressing of videos. The reason why well, the compression of video produces glyphs like this. Okay, around detailed areas. Okay, I don't know the exact terms for them. I had heard them at one time, and I don't remember what it is. Basically, where there's greater areas of detail and greater areas of change, there's going to be more activity that the compressor for the video concentrates on. So there's more activity in that little quad. Whereas where less activity is happening or less changes in the video, it's obviously going to remain basically solid. Okay. Now, hold on a second here. Let me. I want to see the plane coming down. Does it actually? Let's show up here. Okay. Well, I think we can all agree that no, that this video is kind of shitty. Damn it! I didn't want to. I was hoping to get one straight off the bat here. Okay, well, anybody watching this right now will see how sharp all these dots are. Okay, there's nothing going on outside of this. This is in 720p. We'll even bring it up to 1080p. Okay, now I don't know how good the compression is coming over the thing, but you'll see what I'm saying in a second. Okay, nice, sharp, crisp images. Okay, really sharp, really nice. Okay, now I'm gonna back this back up again. Now, when you compress something and lower its resolution, guess how it looks? It's got all of these nice wacky boxes around it. Okay, boxes that are around the areas that are being compressed. It makes all these nice little glyphs everywhere. Okay, round objects no longer look round. You get these little trails that come off of things because of the compression. Okay, has nothing to do with anything masking. I hope you don't think that I just picked a video out that's for some reason fake. Okay, but what I did was I dropped the resolution so that the compression takes over versus the actual video itself. Okay, see all the little blocks and boxes and crap that happen around all this? See all these little boxes and stuff? That's what you're looking at, and you're probably zoomed in on it so you can, for whatever reason. Okay, but according to you and a lot of other flat earthers, you're not alone on that one. That somehow means that it's being faked and being masked. This is a regular jet taxiing somewhere in I don't even know where, but it's a regular jet. Okay, nothing's being hidden there. Okay, that is just a result of compression. That's all it is. It's a result of compression. See all these boxes around here? See all these boxes around here and stuff like that as the different contrasts happen? I don't think they're masking scuba divers over the airport. Okay. Can I full screen this? Sure. There you go. Take a screen cap. Okay. See all these boxes of crap around here? Now, if I were to turn back around and bring this up to high definition, bam! Look at that. That's actually a cool shot right there. Okay. Now, you'll still get a lot of crumbing around here and stuff like that. That's because I chose a night video and stuff, and things have a little bit of fun and low light. Okay. But what you don't see is the boxes around everything. Okay, and which is also why you like to pick out crappy videos, or crappy quality videos, excuse me, not crappy videos. Okay, so, oh, don't worry, Justin, he goes into that too. That's coming up right back. Okay, so that's all just result of compression. It has nothing to do with masking things. Okay, has nothing to do with it. Yes, it is masking is a technique that is used in chroma key and various other types of special effects in movies. I'm not saying that masking doesn't exist. I'm saying that you are not proving it, because I can show you the exact same effect on legitimate, totally unrelated videos. Okay, cool. No, Sean, I didn't. I couldn't find that one after you said it, but you and I are gonna have to get on that, because I want to find out about that. I really do. In a positive sense, I want to make sure that we can get that one under our belts. Oh, him sent me a link. Hammering away at the heliocentric fakery.
So when the real globebusters are going to do their experiment, they plan on having a 3-mile water level, which I've thought about too. But the problem with that is even if the water level is identical, so let's say it's at 4 inches below the end of the tube or whatever on one side and 4 inches below the end of the tube on the other side, you may go celebrating saying, aha, the earth is flat, but the globe will laugh at you, because they'll say, of course, it's equal distant from the center of the earth. And that's what they can get away with. And that, for the longest time, is why I thought, how are we going to ever prove this if they just get to invoke, well, it's the same distance, is because we're eliminating the idea of The globe Earth believes that the water is level, and I think sometimes people forget that if you
Oh, okay. Now I see what you mean. Sean, I think you might have misinterpreted what he was talking about. He's talking about tubes. He's not talking about sticks. And what do you call it? With him talking about tubes, he probably means to do a water pipe. He might be representing or discussing a hypothetical water pipe test where the water would be the same level because of the fact that it's because of the distance to the center of the Earth. I don't think he was talking about that in the reference of his. I don't think he was talking about that in reference to his stick test. 1 hour, 3 minutes, 50 seconds. Okay. Hold on. In case anybody's wondering, I'm interjecting here because Sean wanted to talk to me about the two-pole part, which I'll get to in a second. Hold on a second here.
But the globe will laugh at you because they'll say, of course, it's equal distant from the center of the Earth. And that's what they can get away with. And that for the longest time is why I thought, how are we going to ever prove this if they just get to invoke, well, it's the same distance from the center of the Earth. So that's why on my experiment, we're doing it differently to where that doesn't matter, the distance from the center of the Earth, because we're going to shoot a laser across 2 posts 3 miles apart and measuring the distance from the water level to the place that beam crosses. We're going to make sure that the first beam and the last beam, it crosses at the same place. So let's say that's 10 feet. So both posts, the beam is crossing 10 feet above the water line. Well, then what you do is you measure in the middle. And if the middle is at 7.5 feet above the water line, then the Earth is curved. And if it's not, if it's 10 feet, just like the other 2 posts, then it's not.
Nah, man. He's, what do you call it? That's still a 3-post system, though.
So that's the difference. And I just wanted to help them out before they go spend any money. I think they're doing a GoFundMe or something. But just wanted to explain why you can't do a water level, because it will be level, but the globe would say it's going to be level as well. So not really sure how that's going to prove anything. You might want to rethink a new way of piggybacking off the experiment.
Well, no. He mentioned the middle measurement, man. I think he's still talking about 3 posts, dude. But anyway, Hillel, I don't know. I don't know what the GoFundMe part was. That's probably part of the larger discussion that they were having. Yeah, no, I agree, Sean. He says using 2 poles, which is the beginning and the end pole. But like I said, that wouldn't even I said that wouldn't prove anything. And Jaron even said, well, why would he do that? Because it wouldn't prove anything. But he did mention a measurement in the middle. So I think you might have just misinterpreted that, because he doesn't mention using a middle stick, but obviously he's talking about using a middle measurement. So yeah, that's just what that is, man. It's no biggie. I don't care. Let's see. So moving on ahead. Let's see. It's not, okay, now we're talking about the head shrink video that I did, which is the filming spacewalks in a pool with a excuse me. Wait, is that one? Yeah. Sly talks about how nonsense my theory is. By the way, Jaron theories require supporting facts. That spacewalks are in water. Well, no, I don't talk about it. I prove that in order, a necessary byproduct of filming underwater with big round face shields would result in tiny heads. I didn't talk about it. I showed it. Okay. Nor did I make up imaginary scuba divers either, as you did. But I showed. I even did the stuff in my sink. Okay. It's not that difficult to do. So, and then he goes on number 46 at 45 minutes 14 seconds. He wants to criticize the appearance of the ISS from the outside. Well, sorry, Jaron. I'm sorry it's not Buck Rogers enough for you. Okay, but that's just what stuff looks like when you have to think about every little bit of weight that you shoot up into space. Okay, not a whole lot of room for decoration and beautiful paneling. Okay, plus last time you were in your living room, I'm pretty sure you don't have water pipes and, well, I hope you don't have water pipes and electrical cords running through the inside. You have them tucked away in the wall. Well, to eliminate weight, you don't have that extra wall, that other side of the wall, and I don't think they're going to be putting up any drywall anytime soon in the ISS. So, yeah. And plus the amount of stuff that's required to run that station and stuff like that, I'm not surprised that the outside looks like a junkyard. Well, excuse me, it's just not pretty. There's a lot of stuff out there. Let's see, your car analogy that you did afterwards about the guy stepping out of the car. That's just silly. Let's see. Now, he finally spoke on the part about the tiny heads, the video that I did. He didn't want to answer it himself, so he got his girl to answer it, and her answer was the reason why they have smaller heads inside the pool versus on the spacewalks is, you ready for this? Because they use a different helmet. That's what would be the point of using a different helmet. You still have a big round shaped face shield. Okay, it still has air in it. There's still water outside of it. It would still produce the exact same result. I mean, man, that was bad. They use a different helmet. Okay, you show me that changing the helmet but still having a big round face shield on the front of it with a head inside of it, how that's going to change that. Really? Okay. Now, I'm not trying to badmouth your girl, but it's probably better that she gave that answer instead of you, because I'd put you up on a hook for that. Anyway, let's see. Now, number 50 at 48 minutes 50 seconds. He's claiming that there's two astronauts in a piece of footage, and crappy footage as usual. What do you call it? Crappy quality footage. Excuse me. He says that one of them's holding a golf club, which was probably just his analogy for whatever thing it was that they was holding on to. And I admit it looked like one, but there would be no practical purpose in showing that. What do you call it? There would be, I'm quite sure, even amateur astronomers would be going bonkers over that. Let's see. But he said that it falls down, but then magically comes back up. Now, he never really actually says it, but I'm betting that he's talking about the fact that, you know, there's probably some hidden scuba diver behind him who picks it up. Well, larger objects like that are tethered to the astronauts. Okay, and when you see that said device, or that pole, or whatever the hell it was, when you see that thing going down, you see it actually pivot in a specific direction. Now, that in itself wouldn't be enough. However, when it comes back up, it's pivoting back in the opposite direction, which is showing that there is a leverage point, or a joint point, where it's pointing at the same place on the astronaut, and it's never not pointing in that place. Okay, that just means it's tethered. Okay, and if it was in a pool and it fell out of his hand and it was falling down, it would have fell all the way down. Okay, given the area that they were working at, you wouldn't have been able to not notice somebody intervening at that point. Okay, and quite honestly, if they were going to do that, they would probably let it fall and let it just keep going. I mean, and then just claim it as space junk or something. Okay, you would have to believe that these things are in place. So, let's see. Bad quality of the video, yeah, of course. And by the way, yeah, that's true. you keep on liking to use, despite the oodles of high-res HD video of spacewalks that occurs, and even the live stream stuff is pretty damn good, considering. And you're the one who actually says, why don't we have a 4K camera on the moon and all this other stuff? So you demand this high quality, this super high resolution, and yet you don't use it for your proof, the stuff that exists. Okay, you go out and get some crummy stuff so you can actually insert and inject whatever explanations that you want for this bit that went that way. Okay, so really, okay, really, if you're not going to hold yourself to the same standards that you request from everybody else, then what's the fucking point? And then right on that, right after that, with the same footage that was going on, number 51, he said that you know, well, maybe it's not all in a pool and stuff like that. It could also be wires. And right at the moment where he says it could be wires, the astronaut actually goes under this kind of beam that they're both hanging onto. He goes under it, okay, which counters his dropped golf club claim, which would have to mean that down, or excuse me, up in the video is actually up in reality if this was filmed on Earth, because the golf club would have fallen down as he claimed that it did. And yet here's an astronaut who's supposedly on wires going underneath a solid object, and not apparently getting hung up. So good luck with that. And number 52, and this is going to be the last one here, he went back into the discussion of, I don't understand why, what purpose would it serve? For those of you who remember the globe test that he did with his with the laser pointer, about how you wouldn't be able to maintain center on Polaris from a spinning globe or from a spinning platform at all. The one that I and many other people, notably no flat earthers, got on board with him on that. Nobody actually produced concurring videos on that. Dude, you said what sense would it make to do that? Well, you misalign. I never said that, you know, anything about your globe itself. I just said that you misaligned your globe to the string, which you were claiming as the line of sight from the axis of the Earth, and you did that on purpose. Now you said, what sense would it be? What would it make to do that? Well, it's quite simple. Okay, you make a negative and honestly ignorant claim about star trails, which I disprove. Well, Wolfie disproved with some awesome equipment. I disproved with a bike wheel and some street lights. Okay, your challenge itself was actually a farce. Okay, because what you wanted to do was just claim, for the less intuitive people in your audience, claim that it doesn't work. That would be the point of why you would mess that test up, is to claim that it doesn't work because they trust you to tell it to them. Okay, and like I said, now I might be wrong on this, but I didn't see any FEs reproducing your experiment. So ultimately, of all of this, of all the videos that I have made, and all the videos that I have responded to, mind you, not attacked, responded to the claims of one Jeranism, he hasn't answered a single one of them. Now, I'm sure he'll have plenty of excuses of why it would be pointless to do so and all this other stuff. No, he runs from them. Okay, I pointed them all out in the last video. Do you think he brought any of that up? No. Okay, he wanted to bring up other things like Sean lied to him and he just ate it up. No, Sean brought me a piece of information. I said I didn't know anything about it, but it sounds plausible because it's right up y'all's alley. Yeah, so really, let me just sum this up because it is now 20 after 12 where I'm at. Yeah, I still have to take out my dog. I'm going to sum this all up for you, Jaron. Until you provide actual factual proof, experimental proof, not belief, okay, not truth, because truth is subjective. Truth is like beauty, it's just in the mind of the beholder. Facts of a flat earth. Not they lie. They lie doesn't do anything. Okay. I'm sure you've lied to people in your life. Didn't change the shape of anything, did it? Okay. Until you actually prove something on your side of the argument, proving the earth to be flat, concluding at least that experiment of the earth to be flat. Okay. Actually performing something that proves it to be flat. You're going to have people like me. You're going to have people like Sean, Red, Daza, and everybody else. Okay. And Wolfie. You're going to have us displaying to everybody that everything you do is bullshit. Okay? Everything. Now, if you would like to see the, if you would like to see the supporting information of your educated viewers, take a look at the claims. Maybe even at the bottom of this video over the next couple of days. Take a look at the responses from your viewers, okay, or flat earthers, period. Okay. You will start to see that I just answer most of them with thank you for supporting the globe. The reason why I say thank you for supporting the globe is because of the fact that if you come to me with just insults or wild other subjects and off-topic discussions, calling me an idiot, calling me a this, calling me a that, and oh boy, the names are long. I don't delete those. You know why I don't delete those? Because every single one of those comments that does not support the flat earth claim with any kind of testable or conclusion that goes along with concluding the flat earth, every one of those comments is a support of the globe. Every one of them. So, wait, checkmate, atheists? Yeah, I've never seen any pictures of flat earth from orbit either, man. But I did have a flat earther tell me that the reason why they can't see flat earth from orbit is because the highest we're able to go is low earth orbit. Oh, and Van Allen belts and stuff like that, yeah, which don't exist on flat earth. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I knew this was going to be a long one, but I wanted to make sure that I was comprehensive and thorough. I was going to make this into an actual produced video, but oh my god, that would have taken forever. So, Jaron, I'm not expecting you to give a response, but I would appreciate a response to the other videos that I've made. You know, the ones about shadows and all the other videos that I made on your stuff. Yeah. But if you do decide to do one experiment, here, show me this. Show me how a different helmet would change the size of somebody's head while still having a round face shield on it. Air-filled face shield. Okay? You guys have a nice night. And Sean, you and I will talk a little bit later. And we'll see what we can throw together about something else. But I just wanted to get this out today, and so that they don't address it tomorrow on Globebusters. Because remember, Globebusters aren't scared of doing a test that's already been done, which means you're accepting the conclusions. So, everybody have a nice night, and I appreciate you stopping by. And got about 2 or 3 other videos in the works. So I'll be looking for those real soon. You guys have a nice night.